What's up, everyone? You already know to get ahead of 99% of people, you have to do what the other 99% won't. But don't you dare make the mistake to think that that means you have to work way harder than 99% of people, or you need way more money than 99% of other people, or you need more time than 99% of people, or even that you need to be better than 99% of people. Whatever the hell that means. Bill Gates said, "I choose a lazy person to do a hard person's job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it." So don't even think for a moment to delude yourself in thinking your insecurities can stop you to achieving your success, as there are 4 words that can describe the best way to get ahead of 99% of people in this world. Don't be a sheep. That's it. That's it. So in this video, I'm going to explain in 3 simple steps how to not be a sheep when thinking about how you can make money. So no one likes being called a sheep because it implies you're a blind follower, and that means you stick with the herd, do nothing different, and therefore how do you expect to be in 1%, not the 99%? So let's run a test to decide which camp you fall into. This is Humphreys. He slaves away 40 hours a week, working for a job and boss he hates. He doesn't make enough to live the life he wants, so to feel better, he spends his free time going to parties, drinking, eating rubbish and swiping Tinder. This, on the other hand, is Spartacus. He runs his own business and doesn't care how much he works. He cares about growing his income and understands the difference between assets and liabilities. He makes enough to live really well and has enough to invest the majority of his income into assets to guarantee his future financially. He spends his free time reading, hitting the gym, and networking. Ask yourself and be honest, which are you? For most of you, you're probably somewhere between the two. So if you want to be more like my mate Spartacus, let's get into those 3 simple steps to make more money. Step 1, contrarian thinking. Now, what the hell is contrarian thinking? Put simply, it's your brain not being a sheep. To not be a sheep, you need to stop thinking like a sheep. And that is actually really hard because contrarian thinking is all about thinking outside the box, doing things differently and making bets on things being done differently to get yourself into that top 1%. For instance, Elon Musk made a big bet on electric cars. Jeff Bezos made a humongous bet on online retail. And we obviously only hear about the big bets that actually work. And to be honest, that feels really daunting. I'm no Elon Musk. I'm no super genius. Does that mean I can't be in that 1%? I actually think there are 2 ways to optimize for contrarian thinking: the easy and the hard way. The hard way is number 1, think of something new. One way to get into that 1% is to create something entirely new, like Elon Musk did, convincing us to switch to electric cars, or Jeff Bezos convincing us to trust buying online, or Facebook convincing us to create social online profiles. These things seem so normal now, but at the start, these were all new, novel things. Thinking of something entirely new and creating it into a product or service is one way to get into the 1% if you get it right, but it is really risky and just hard because you're trying to create something that has never been proven to work. If you're wrong and you look stupid. If you're right, you have a massive head start. But in reality, I'm just not convinced it's that easy to get right. Personally, I think there is a far easier way to apply contrarian thinking. And the way I've built successful businesses is by trying the easy way to optimize for contrarian thinking, which is number 2. Just do something better. I find you can also get into that 1% by identifying things that already exist and focus on where pain still exists for customers using those products or services. The easy thing to do would be to be a sheep and just copy what someone else is doing, copying the benefits and the negatives. But by copying a product or service, you are then in huge danger of commoditizing it. Think about that for a moment. If you create something you've just copied, it means someone else can just copy you. The danger is you trap yourself with a product or service that isn't unique at all. All the customer will want to do is pick the cheapest one, and all the sheep will do is lower their prices to compete. You have to focus on solving genuine problems. It's why a lot of drop shipping doesn't work. If you can solve a problem others can't, you can charge what others can't. So with my real estate business, whereas my competitors were focusing on trying to make their services as cheap as possible to win instructions and sell houses, I focused on building my brand to make selling a house as quick and easy as possible, and charged a lot more because it was worth a lot more as a service to my customers. An easy way to do something better is through step 2, niche down on an idea. Now, my belief is to be in the top 1% the easy way, you need to niche down on an idea. You can either, 1, focus on a painful problem that people will pay a lot to fix, or 2, focus on a simple problem that done well, the rich will pay a lot more for. So what do I mean by this? Well, if you're a window cleaner, you can either choose to become 1, a specialist in cleaning hard to reach windows like high-rise buildings, anything a standard window cleaner would not want to touch, and therefore charge a premium for it. Or 2, you could provide premium window cleaning services for $1 million plus value homes and charge a premium for it. Or you can be a sheep and just be a window cleaner, taking any business you can find and competing on price constantly. A sheep becomes a commodity because it can be copied. There are so many of them and they fight amongst themselves by lowering their prices. You could apply that framework to almost anything. You need to use contrarian thinking to niche down to solve a very painful problem that can either charge a premium to fix or focus on a simple problem that done well and focused at the right market, the rich will be paying a premium for. But it doesn't stop here. Step 3 is you need to execute. There are countless incredible ideas and businesses that fail because of poor execution. What separates Instagram against the likes of Bebo and MySpace, all similar companies, yet one stands out. It's not good enough to have a great product or service that you've already niched into an incredibly profitable business on paper. You need to execute well, and the key is to not blindly work hard. It's hard because we're all taught to succeed, you have to work hard. But if you're running like crazy east to catch a sunset, then that's just crazy. 3 steps to not blindly working hard are: 1, find an angle you can make a profit on, following all the advice that I've just shared in this video. 2, work like crazy to get your plane in the air. And 3, focus on leverage. Leverage your time and you'll be in the top 1% whilst working less than the other 99%. Check me out, this video up here, because YouTube seems to think you like it for some reason. But before you go, do me a favor, please subscribe and comment sheep below for a thumbs up from me. See you up here.